Yeah, sure is a family. We're always there, loving each other like lovers do. I'll always have you, I'll be true. Stand by your side like lovers do. Sure is a family, we're strong and true. Stand by each other like lovers do. I'll always love you, love you. Yeah, we're here, we're strong, carry on till the end. Sure is a fan, sure is a fan. Oh, hello everybody, what is good? It's your girl Hannah, and I am back with another video. So today I am gonna be, say hi. Hi, you are driving, okay. So today I'm gonna be doing a video of how I make my broccoli chicken and ziti Alfredo. I've had a lot of requests from friends, family, people that have eaten it, that have seen me post pictures, and they want to know how I make it. So I decided to go ahead and do a whole video for you guys. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoy. So let's get started. So first off, of course you got to get your essentials, which is the chicken. So the type of chicken that I use is boneless. Give me a second while I set myself up. It's the boneless chicken. So I just get any kind of boneless chicken breast. So as you guys see here, sometimes I do like to season it overnight, but I decided honestly this time not to. I'm actually just going to do a quick seasoning and show you guys how to really make it soak up the flavor so that it's really, really good, because the chicken for my chicken, broccoli, and ziti is literally the base of the flavor. Not really the noodles, not really the broccoli, and not really the Alfredo sauce. Believe it or not, it's my chicken. So I have my garlic. This is the kind of garlic that I use, chopped garlic. This is actually a new kind of garlic that I'm using, and I actually really, really like this one. It smells wonderful when I mix it in with food, and I notice that it gives it a lot more flavor. I have onion, of course. You're gonna have your pasta. You can use any kind of pasta. I like to use penny. It's just my ultimate favorite, but yes, penny. 2 boxes of that, and don't mind me, I'm like reaching. And I like to use for the chicken while it's cooking wine. And again, these products, you don't have to get the specific kind that I got. Literally, you can do it however you want. So to start out, I have water in the pot here. So I'm going to turn that on for the noodles, to start preparing the noodles. And of course I have the broccoli in the freezer. I don't want to take it out because I don't want the broccoli to get bad. While that happens, I am going to cut up my chicken and onions. So I'm going to prepare everything. Okay. So I have my little skillet here. That's what I like to use. So you guys are gonna watch me cut up the onion. Okay guys. guys. So, trying to position my face a little bit. There we go. Don't mind me, guys. I'm working with what I got. I'm just cutting the onion. Real simple. Cut it in half. I like to take this off. And I like to rinse it in water. So rinsing it in water, what that helps do is that helps when I'm cutting it. It helps the spray that the onion can give off when you're cutting it to go in your eyes and stuff and make you cry. It helps minimize that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this up really, really quick. You can cut it any kind of way. It doesn't have to be really specific in how you cut it. You can cut them big. You can cut them small. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to use the whole onion. Only because it's for a friend of mine. And it's for her son's birthday. And I just don't know how people feel about onions. So I try to be thoughtful of that. I'm going to go ahead and turn on to get that started. Then I have my, so I just use my knife, and honestly, I get, see that much? I'll do a few of those. I'd say like 3 of them filled like that. Okay. Now, one thing that I like to do is while I'm cleaning, if I can, try and keep up with the dishes. But for the sake of this video, I won't be doing that today. But just know I do try my hardest. So I got the water going here. And in my water, I am going to add the great adobo for the noodles and broccoli. And some regular salt. Now, I have to share with you guys that, like, when it comes to measurements of seasonings and stuff, don't bother asking me, because I honestly just go off of the top of my head. I don't have a specific amount. So, literally, go with what you feel. I literally just sprinkle it. I do probably like 3 shakes every time I use something, and my food is seasoned enough. Let me get a bag so I can throw everything in the trash, so I'm not like walking away. But yeah, my kids, everybody always asks me to make this. Like, you guys don't understand. So it's starting to, you can hear it simmering. Simmer. And since it's simmering, I'm gonna get ready to pour some of my cooking wine in it. So I'm gonna mix this up a little bit, try and break some of the spread the garlic, break it up a little bit. Same thing with the onions. I wish you guys could smell what I'm smelling right now. Like, and I haven't even added the, but there you go. That's what it looks like. So I just like to stir it, try and break it up some. At first, starting out, I will keep the onions and garlic on high, but as they start to darken and get a little bit crispy, I then will lower the temperature, because that's when I'm going to add my meat. I have read it's not really necessary to wash your meat. I used to do it back in the day with vinegar, but now I'm at the point I don't do it because it does splatter, and that just makes more of a cleanup more needing to make sure that nobody gets salmonella or anything like that, because that's real. I know too many people that has happened to. So now I am going to pour my oil. Sorry, I said oil. My wine. I'm nervous, guys. This is my first time doing an instruction video, but I'm doing the best that I can. So again, like I said, have discretion on, you know, your how much you want to put, pouring and all of that. I don't really have measurements for you guys. In all honesty, you can't really go wrong when it comes to the cooking wine. The more you do, the more flavor your chicken is going to have. So that is up and running, and now I'm going to take my chicken out of the package, and we're going to get these bad boys. So literally for mine, all I need is one package. It comes with 3 pieces. I don't need more than that, and you'll actually see the way that I cut it up. I actually don't need more than 3 pieces, and sometimes the 3 pieces are really use water and boiling. I'll do that once the wine sort of simmers down and there's no more of it. Then I'll add some water, but I generally like to keep it with just the wine to start cooking it. Again, the chicken breast is going to absorb the wine, so I'm telling you, it's going to give it a really nice flavor. So yeah, that's what we have going on right now, and we're just going to give it a few minutes to cook up. Okay. So now we're back again. I'm just turning the chicken again. Again, I like to keep my eye on the meat because wine, it does evaporate really, really fast and soak into the breast. So as you see, it's starting to brown, get that nice color in it. The key also that I like to do is when I cut it, it's not fully cooked on the inside, because it's easier to cut, believe it or not. It's very, very tender at that point, and then it can finish cooking once it's cut into individual pieces a lot faster. So now we're going to move on to preparing our pans. So I like to use Pam just a little bit, but if I don't have Pam, the regular butter works just as well. So I'm actually going to do both because the Pam has canola oil, organic. I try to stay with organic stuff, but we all know it's expensive and it's hard. And then the spread butter, literally I buy the store brand. It does not matter. Butter is butter. That's my opinion anyway. So I have 2 pans here, because believe it or not, I'm going to need 2 pans. So I'm just going to slightly spray. That's one. And then we're going to move on to this pan right here. Okay, that's that. And then I'm going to get my butter. So remember, never use whatever you've used with the raw meat. Do not use it for anything else, because you now will contaminate everything. So, just going to put that there. As you see, good, amount. And that's what I'm going to use. Now, some people don't like getting their hands dirty. If I have a napkin available, I'll use a napkin. But right now, I do not have a napkin available, so I'm literally just going to use my hand. Now, if you notice, me spraying that canola oil has made it a lot easier for me to spread this butter a whole lot better than normally had it just been by itself. So that's why if I can use both, if I have them on hand, I will use both. This is just to help flavoring and also to keep it from sticking. Any extra butter, I literally will just wipe my hands as much as I can get off. I have my long nails, guys, but I'll leave it in the pan. So same thing with this one. Gonna butter it up. Okay. Now I'm gonna wash my hands. The water's still going. This butter, put it there. I'm gonna turn the chicken one more time. Okay. You see it's gotten a little bit darker. The wine is almost done. Once the wine is done, I'll leave it in there for a few moments and then we'll take it out and we'll get to the cutting process. All right. All right, so the water is starting to boil. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw my box pasta and bag of broccoli. So I'm gonna have to do that twice, one for each box, one for each pan. Because not only am I cooking for the birthday party, but I am cooking for my family as well. So that when we get home, we have food to eat. But that way it's an even number when it's cooked. So I'll just turn that and leave it. So now, onto the chicken. The fun part begins. So as you guys see, pretty much it's all done. Has evaporated. The chicken breasts are a lot bigger. I don't know if you guys can tell, but they are a lot bigger because they've absorbed so much. So I'm gonna turn this so that as I take one at a time to cut it, the other two can be continuing to cook. So I'm gonna start with this one. I get a separate plate, and literally however you want to cut it is up to you. So as you see, the inside, it's not cooked, but all the outer side is. But if you saw how easy it is for me to literally cut it, it's like nothing. I don't have to work hard for my meat. And I think everyone can agree. You don't want to work hard. Jeremy?
That
you
meat.
need help.
That meat.
My lovely husband is helping me with videotaping, guys. This. So shout out to him, the cameraman. But yeah, basically, I'm just gonna cut it like that. You know, all three of the pieces. However big you want to cut it. I personally am one who I don't like a lot of the chicken and my chicken, broccoli, and ziti. I know that sounds weird, but I don't. So I try to think about that for other people too who may. So yeah. Everybody, so we are back. As you see, all the chicken is cut up. So what I'm gonna do now is to add some of my seasoning, but just to make sure that the chicken does not burn, I'm gonna add a little bit of something called grapeseed oil. Not a whole lot, literally just that much, like a drop, just to keep it moistened and to help it with the frying process. The different spices that I like to use, and I'm gonna tell you guys a secret, I honestly probably use them for everything that I cook, but everything comes out tasting different. So the first thing we're gonna put is some basil leaves. Gonna sprinkle so all the chicken is covered. Next is oregano leaves. Okay, again, sprinkle until everything is covered. Next is some basically all seasoned seasoning. It's called the perfect seasoning. Again, I'm doing this. Pepper is next. Not a whole lot of pepper. The great adobo. with the blue top, because you know they got different top colors. Again, covering the chicken. And last, a pinch of salt. Alright, and as you guys can see here, I got that waiting. That's the broccoli with the penne pasta. So we're just waiting for the chicken now to throw the chicken in it. And remember, this chicken is going to be split between both the pans. That's literally all the seasoning I'm going to use. That's literally it. I have one more pack of sazon, which I'll put once the chicken is mixed in with that and the Alfredo sauce goes. Okay? So just stir this until you can see that all the chicken has been cooked. You don't want to overcook it, you know, because then it's going to be really chewy. You want to keep it on its tender side. Okay? Alrighty. So as you guys saw, as you guys see, I cooked the chicken for about another 5 to 10 minutes. Not a lot because I am going to put it in the oven. So what I'm going to do right now is put my oven on. I like to put it on 375 if I'm doing any type of cooking myself. So I'm preheating the oven. And just going to take this out of the oven while that preheats. That is the other half of the chicken for the other pan. As you see, not a whole lot of chicken, just enough. So yes, you get some with the scoops. And now the last thing to do, I'm just mixing the chicken in. And the last thing to do is to pour the Alfredo sauce.
Could someone give my princess her pacifier?
So I have one whole can here. So I only bought 3. I like to use the Ragu Classic Alfredo. And then the Ragu Roasted Garlic Parmesan. I'm going to use half of this one though, because it's going to go in the other thing. And for this can right here, I am going to pour some milk instead of water. I will fill this up with halfway with the milk, any kind of milk. I do 1% milk, but if you want whole milk, it honestly doesn't matter. Or another thing you can substitute it with is something called heavy cream. Either one works perfectly fine. I got baby girl here with me because she's being a little bit fussy, as you guys can hear in the background. So I just shake it to get the last bit of all the good stuff, all the Alfredo sauce. Pour it here. I like to use the milk because if I add water, I feel like it makes it too watery. Milk sort of will give it that cheesy effect, like when you purchase it at the pizza shops and stuff, or at a restaurant, and literally you just mix it in. Thanks, babe. So the oven is heating up at 375. The last thing I need to do is I need to add my seasoning. So this is the sazon that I was telling you guys about that I like to add to it. It's the last bit of seasoning that I will do. And I promise you guys, not enough. You can use the whole thing. You don't have to. It's up to you. Usually I will taste my food as I go, but I've gotten so used to making this that now I don't really need to taste it to see if it's too much seasoning. But when you're first trying it out, I would suggest to taste it as you're going along, just to make sure that you're not adding too much. I literally just mix it in. Yes, it will turn the pasta the orangey color, but you know what? That's how you know it's about to be finger licking good, honey child. Okay, pause it. One last thing I need to do. I just need to... Alrighty, so the last bit before throwing it in the oven is I use the Italian 6 cheese blend. I'm going to use half because obviously I have the other pan that I need to do. And literally, you just sprinkle this on the top. Try to spread it out because you are only using half. Usually I will use the whole thing if I'm just making one pan. But today, as you guys see, I'm making 2. And literally, voila. You get it where it goes. And when it comes out the oven, you guys will see. Marvelous, darling, marvelous. Alright, so I'm gonna get ready to throw it in the oven, and when it comes out the oven, I'll be sure to check back in with you guys so you guys can see how it looks. And now what we all been waiting for. So I like to leave it in the oven for about 20 to 30 minutes or until it looks like that on the top. And as you see, everything, when it dries, everything is going to come together, fuse together. And let me tell you, it's to die for. When I say to die for, yeah, to die for.
I mean, I wouldn't die for it, but you know what I mean.
And that is how you make chicken, broccoli, and ziti. Thank you for coming to Hannah's Kitchen and spending a day with me. And as always, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Toodles!